That's right. Gonna be a Baptist preacher so that I won't have to work. Well, I'm in the pulpit, jumping up and down, 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 down. Yeah, I'm in the pulpit, jumping up and down. Okay. Well, I've been hollering good news all the miles around. My sister jumped up now. Ooh, she began to grin. Yeah, she did. Well, my sister jumped up. Ooh, she began to grin. She said, good Lord have mercy. Please forgive me for my sins. Forgive me now. Please, please, please. Oh. Gonna join the Baptist church. Climb up this mountain, shine down upon our world. Get me religion. Gonna join the Baptist church.
Good evening.
Hello.
Again, Tom, we've done too much of that song. We've only got permission for 30 seconds of that song.
For our theme tune.
For our theme tune, yeah.
Yeah.
Literally, I said we'd only ever play 30 seconds of that song. We do 3 minutes of it and all that. They're going to have us one day.
It's because I'm getting into it.
I'm getting into it myself. And literally, Facebook every week says to me, I get a report back, says, your Facebook post has been muted in certain countries. Bulgaria.
I think we'd be big in Bulgaria if it wasn't for that. I think Bulgaria is very much our audience.
The only person watching in Bulgaria would be your dad if he's there now. And is he there now?
No, he's back now.
Is he back now?
But he's probably not watching this.
No,
anyway.
he won't watch this nonsense. He'll be like, that. I used to like my son. He'll be like,
yeah. Basically, he thinks you've been a bad influence.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Honestly, that's what it is.
Of course.
Like I was a proper Christian till I met you.
You were. Now you're sitting in a bar with a pint of lager.
The devil's.
What next? Hey.
Yeah.
Dear me.
Well,
what can I say?
Here we are, back in the bar again.
You're trying to get redeemed, though, aren't you? You are cleaning yourself up.
I'm trying to spend less time with you. If that's what you mean. If
that's what I meant. That is exactly what I meant.
Well, I'm trying. I'm trying.
Yeah.
Sucking me in like a bad habit.
Fair play to you.
Can't kick it.
Yeah. No.
Want to kick you sometimes, then. Right.
Oh, it's kicked off here tonight, hasn't it?
It has.
Oh, nice to have you played too much of the tune.
We have. Well, it's lovely to have you in. And if this is your first week, from the chat, it looks like we've got Matt Cruz in. Nice to see you, Matt. I don't think you're on, Matt. Well, let's say hello straight away then to Mr. Matt Edmundson. Let's give a big round of applause.
Yes.
Lovely to have you in, sir.
It's great to be here.
Yeah, well, it's
first time, loving it.
Yeah, I think you've got some fans in as well.
You will have.
We've got some of your followers around.
Yes.
Because our audience is in double figures for the first time in a while. Ever. So we're happy with that. Let's see how long they last for.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll just ignore whatever Matt Cruz said.
Is it? Okay, all right, Matt. We're ignoring you, mate. No,
no, Matt. I'll put my glasses on, lads. If you want to say something, I'll read it, mate.
Matt, look, every week we'll tell you this if you're new to the show. Each week, basically, the person with the best comment,
yeah,
their nugget of the week, and they get a beer, Matt.
The reason the nuggets of the week is because this Tory calls it nougat. You know, when it's nuggets,
Matt,
it's clearly nuggets,
Matt
isn't it?
Feels posh.
It's clearly nuggets.
Matt, you'd say nougat, wouldn't you?
No.
Not a chance, would you?
No, I grew up in Derby, and in Derby, it's nugget.
Is it?
There you go.
Yeah.
Backwards as well in Derby.
Another Labour butter. That's what it is.
Is
hey,
it?
you know,
Well, that's
said
it.
they used Tories from Surrey.
Vote Tory.
Yeah, sorry.
Hampshire.
Let's not get political anyway.
Anyway, that's where Nuggets of the Week comes from.
Yeah,
I was just
that's what
explaining.
we're saying. So if you best comment in the comments, Matt Crew, could be you, and you'll get a beer mat with our faces on.
Especially if we can hand it to Matt to hand here, because that makes it a lot easier.
You're a front runner straight away with that kind of.
Just by tuning in, you could win.
Just by saving us a postage stamp. You are very much.
And I forgot until today.
I know, I saw that. After
but you forgot.
Like,
no, you forgot for about 3 weeks.
Yeah, I did. Barbara, it's on the way.
It's on the way, Barbara.
We need a little photo of you
in the post.
I want a photo with Jim with the beer mat.
With a beard on it.
Because, he
or
loves
a cup
this.
of tea, just in case he doesn't drink beer. Yeah.
Here we
You never know.
Well, evening, Matt. We've got a few in. Nice to see you, Ray. Ray's on the IPA tonight. Very good.
Lads. What are we on?
Mark Devine comedy. Is it Mark Devine?
Mark Devine, yeah.
He's in.
Oh,
nice to see you, Mark. How are you?
Mark done a comedy fundraiser the other week. He did. I don't know whether he billed it as that, but he turns up at the church with £100 for our community grocery.
Wow.
So, well done, Mark.
Very good. Round of applause for that, my friends. Very
if you could
good.
just do that about 1,500 times a month, that would possibly cover the shortfall.
That would really help us cover those bills.
I meant 15 times a month, sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Not 1,500.
I'm not trying to cover your salary here. Well, Karen's in. Nice to see you, Karen.
It's Karen. The nugget last week.
Yeah, Karen's in.
Karen,
did you get your beer mats? Did Mikey
pass them to Mikey?
Nicola Morris, is that one of your friends?
Nick, yeah, Lala, we call her.
Lala, like a Teletubby.
Yeah, we've known her since the kids were younger, and the kids couldn't pronounce the name, so they just called her Lala.
It says a Nicola, Lala. Yeah, get that, Lala.
I'm trying to work out. Is she? The spelling's a little bit all over the place, Nicola. Nicola, what does that mean? Edmo. What is she saying? Is that nickname?
Edmo is my nickname.
Okay. All right.
How did you not know that?
Oh, okay.
It's short.
Well, the idiot in me was going, Matt, that's something is short for Matt, Edmo. I didn't quite get there. And Sharon Edmundson is that mum or wife?
Mrs. Edmundson is my wife.
Mrs. Edmundson.
Good lady.
Lovely to have you in, Sharon. Nice to see you.
We'll try and behave ourselves.
Sharon, if you could just
Can't guarantee for this nugget.
If you could drop any embarrassing stories in the comments.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That'll really help tonight.
This is the time. This is the time.
Whatever I say, if it's in any way slightly deviant from the truth, if I exaggerate just 1%, she'll let you know.
She'll be all over it.
Yeah, she's like the truth police.
She's the barometer.
Yeah, totally.
Very good.
Again.
Oh, here we go. Mark's the comedy man. He's saying £16.50 still here to hand over.
Oh, what a guy.
Stealing from charity, Mark. Come on. Pass it over, mate.
In fairness, he didn't have to give us any. We didn't know.
Well, now he is, though. Give us the full amount.
He's told us. I remember he sent me a message saying something about it, that he had some more money and he forgot about.
And Dion Simpson. Sorry, I'm terrible at reading.
I mean, I'm bad. I'm bad.
Out of the two of us, I'm definitely
you're the best. You're the best at reading. If I have to read anything, it's just awful, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. It's proper awful when I just have to physically read, unless I've wrote it myself. If I read something that I haven't wrote, that is just disaster time. Anything I'm doing. But anyway,
funerals,
and
weddings.
Now you're saying die on. Yeah, funerals and weddings.
Die on.
I did one for me mate. My mate was sick the other week.
You did your mate's funeral?
No, I've done a few of them. Like
my mate was sick, so I popped in to line up the job.
I'm not gonna lie. The best funeral I ever did was for one of my mates.
Oh,
right.
No way.
He didn't think it was that
class. And he was in our class, and I did that kind of Ribena and Jaffa Cake communion. It was a non-Christian funeral.
Yeah.
No, seriously.
Jaffa Cake communion.
Yeah, honestly,
amazing.
This was I had this moment when I thought this will be boss, right?
Yeah.
And there was like over 300 at this funeral.
Yeah.
Because when I went to visit him, all I seen was a load of Ribena and a load of Jaffa cakes because he liked both of them.
Okay.
And because it wasn't a Christian funeral, right? It was like not Christian at all. I thought to myself, I could do communion with Ribena and Jaffa cakes and talk about, kind of till we meet again kind of thing and the great hope of resurrection in the Christian faith. And so 300 odd people at this funeral. And I've got like shot glasses and but you know what? Fab. To the point where about 6 weeks later, I got in a taxi to go to, I think I was going to the pub, the Warburg at the time. And some fella, the taxi driver said to me, "Are you that priest?" I went, "Depends." Depends what you're asking, mate. So you've got a bit of form, haven't they, sometimes? I said, he said, "Are you that priest?" He said, "The one who did that communion thing with the Jaffa cakes." Brilliant. I went, "Yeah." He went, "That was boss, that, mate." So I did.
It
But anyway,
it works.
I forget what I was talking about now. This happens all the time. I was doing a funeral for me, mate.
Yes.
I was doing one for Paul Griffiths. He won't be watching this. This is nonsense for him.
Yeah.
Right? He was sick, so he couldn't do it. So he wrote it out and give it to me. He's standing there just to prove that he's not dead or something. I don't know. And I read it out. And I read out that someone had passed away. Right? And he went, "No, I'm not. I'm here." Right? And I went, and I looked at the form and I'd read it wrong.
No way.
But I wasn't going to own up to that. Oh, no, Matt. I just went, "I need to remind you, I'm only reading out what he's wrote."
Yeah.
Dropped him right in it.
And he'd lost his voice, so he couldn't complain.
Dropped him right in it, Tom. Like, boom.
And he's never asked you to do another one since, I guess.
Well, no, I've had one more because he double booked himself. So yeah.
Mark saying, "Is it too early for a Bailey's hot chocolate?" I'd love a Bailey's hot chocolate right now. No, we're right in that. We're right in the. Do you know what though? Emma's already
for Christmas. You mean?
Yeah.
I've never had one though.
You've never had a Bailey's hot chocolate?
It sounds amazing.
It is. It's good.
Nasty.
It's
well, nasty is not good.
I'm not a Bailey's fan. I'm not going to lie.
So, but at Christmas, doesn't it taste better? No. Well, Emma's already started buying things.
Have we got flies in here again, Tom?
Do you want some chopsticks? Call you Danielson.
Danielson, yeah.
Emma's already started buying stuff that she says is for Christmas.
Oh, well.
And then she hides the good stuff.
That's stupid, isn't it? Because you know where it is and it gets it.
Well, I don't know where it is. I don't know where she keeps it. I think she buries it in the garden. I think she takes it very seriously. So there's Bailey somewhere in the house.
And you can't find it.
I can't find it.
I know when Joyce says, "I bought some wine, but it's just for Christmas," basically means it's in a boot.
That's the code. That's the code.
Honestly, it's basically in the boot of a car. She thinks I'm thick. Am I right, Joycey? You're probably watching.
See, look, Emma's she said, "Oh, that reminds me, I've got some in the cupboard for Christmas, the Baileys." And she put too early to open it. It's not for her, but for me. Yeah. It's always too early.
Yeah.
I'd never open that Baileys, Emma. And actually, we've got Gavin. Chef Gav. She came and cooked us steak. And he's saying, "Can we do a vote?" Here we go. We need the power of the people at home.
Okay.
Can we do a vote? What would you rather eat? A red Thai curry or a green Thai curry? Oh. So we could give Gav a little bit of help there. Gav,
that's because I asked them. Our volunteers in the shop were going to do a Christmas night for them. And I've asked Gav if he'd come and cook for them.
And he said yes.
And he said, "I'll do a Thai curry." So you could be voting for your curry. So it makes it even more important.
So Gav is going to come and cook a curry for our volunteers from the community grocery.
Bless him.
What a guy.
What is it? He's a top guy.
It's quite there's about 30 volunteers there, though, Gav.
No, I said about 25.
Is it?
He's called a few.
Which five aren't getting?
He's called a few. Pete, the manager's called a few. Said they haven't volunteered for a while. They're not getting a meal.
If you wanted the curry, you should have come out.
You should have helped,
Very good. All right, well, lots of people are joining in. We've got lots of interaction. That's exactly what we want. As many comments as we can. Throw your questions into the mix. If you've got questions for Matt as the evening goes on, the idea is if you're a first timer in Finnegan's, every Wednesday, we get together, we have a drink in the bar, we chat about life, we chat about nonsense, quite a bit of that.
Most of the time.
We chat about faith.
None of this is uplifting.
And basically, it gets me and Alan out of the house. That's what happens here.
And stops me having to do a prayer meeting. So
there's loads of...
Before lockdown, we used to have a Wednesday night prayer meeting. Since lockdown, we've had a podcast.
That's it.
Happy days.
So there's loads of episodes that we've got already. We've done loads of great guests.
We're on our fifth season, aren't we?
We are well into the fifth
We
season.
only have seasons, Matt, because we have time off. Then we say end of
how long's
season.
the season?
Yeah. Basically
when Tom goes on holiday. When I go on holiday, he gets a replacement
I
hosting.
get someone in.
So it's fine.
They're our most popular episodes.
When Tom goes on holiday, we can't do that unless Jack's around.
Yeah, so and Jack is in tonight. Thank you, Jack.
Jack is
in. He's on the buttons.
Good lad.
We appreciate him for coming in to do that.
Our producer.
Sainsbury's have got Baileys on offer at the moment, says Karen. Good to know. £10. Do you know what? Should we? If someone wants to buy us a bottle of Baileys for the bar,
nice, because no one's buying us a beer, are they? On buymeacoffee.com/Finnegans.
That was well done. It's like you rehearsed that.
If you'd like
you don't know how many times we've said that and had nothing.
Do you know what? I think we have one regular supporter, and that's my wife.
No, we've got four.
Have we got four?
Four, but two of them are our wives.
Yeah.
which basically means us.
And
we support ourselves.
People were going for green curry. I don't really know the difference between green.
I would say green.
I would say Sam Ward green, Karen green, Mike green.
I don't know why.
What's the difference? Is it just a bit of food colouring?
No, red curries tend to be hotter, so green curries are a lot more accessible.
Mild, more coconutty, I think.
Yeah.
So
Matt's bringing the curry knowledge here tonight. I mean,
Matt's a font of all knowledge, man. Don't you know this?
Here we go.
I'm totally making it up. You just got to sound confident, right?
Matt's
your wife will blow you up.
Yeah. Matt Cruz found the level where he's put Tweedledee and Tweedledum are hilarious. This is great stuff.
That's us. I'm guessing that's me and you. Although you don't look fat enough to be Tweedledum.
I don't know. I feel a little bit coming up to Christmas. I need to do some work, otherwise it could get Dumb and Dumber. Not like a job. I've got a job. Got 2 jobs, mate. Don't worry about that.
Got 2
Danny
jobs.
Latham.
Hey,
Danny's in tonight. Danny's never in.
Hey, Tommy 2 jobs. That's what I'm going to call you from now. Tommy 2 jobs. Hey,
Danny's in. Danny's never in. One of our best mates.
Danny was going to come down
and
tonight.
He's put need to start being funnier, gents.
We need Danny the doorman.
We need Danny.
He was going to be the doorman, wasn't he? We were going to have him on at that, but
he swerved us off.
He hasn't turned up.
You had Graham Jones on, didn't you? A couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
Graham I've known for years, right? He's one of the big reasons I'm a Christian.
Is he?
Yeah. And Danny, as you know, recently got married.
Which Danny?
Danny Latham.
There's another Danny Latham.
There's a
Christian Danny Latham, and then there's a Danny Latham.
And then there's my son-in-law who's a little bit mental.
He's a good lad. The same guy. Well, anyway, my Danny Latham got married, who's a youth pastor at Frontline.
And that's definitely not our Danny Latham.
No, 2 different Dannys. But we have a lodger called Jasmine.
Okay.
She's lovely. She's been a Christian about a year. She's living with us, and she's going to that wedding. And Graham is going to that wedding, and I find out about it. So I text Graham a photo of Jazz, and I'm like, Graham, do your thing, man. So he goes over to Jazz while she's queuing up with a boyfriend for food and taps her on the shoulder and says, You're Jasmine, aren't you? The Lord's given me a word for you. You're to go to Africa. And Jazz is like,
that is evil.
That is evil.
That's Graham.
So whereabouts in Africa is she now? Really committed. Yeah, she died of malaria. Greens more spice, Matt.
Okay. I thought red was more spicy. I'm probably in at the wrong time.
Well, there we go.
Has Gav said anything like?
That's what Gav said.
Oh, is that Gav? That is Gav. I honestly can't read anything.
Dion says if you mix a shot of single malt whiskey and a glass of Baileys with a couple of ice cubes, it makes a cocktail called a Flaming Maggie.
Do
you think it's a Flaming Maggie, do you think?
No, it might be
Is it to do with Maggie Thatcher?
Oh, don't mention that name. Look at you, you Tory. Fancy you Tory boy, Maggie Thatcher. Don't say that in this bar.
What a woman.
You'll get bad.
What a woman. No.
I tell you, you'll get
I'm
bad.
I'm messing.
We'll
Come on.
Danny, get down here, lads. We need the doorman in. There's got to be a point of order here for this fella.
There's some great questions. Keep the questions coming in for Matt. We're going to get to those.
We haven't even started, have we?
We haven't. Bonfire night this week.
It is.
No, it was last week.
Oh, you had me there.
Do you know what? What I've noticed about Liverpool is they go big for parties. Like I don't know if you've noticed this, Matt, but like any excuse for, and I love that about Liverpool. Anything excuse, it's like let's have a party. So bonfire night.
Tuesday.
Bonfire night is a big one in Liverpool, and I remember when I first come here and on the estate where we live, just everyone has fireworks, and the gardens aren't that big.
No,
so you come out your front garden and someone's doing it in their back garden, but that's like right in your front garden. And so you have to like dodge. But also the kids on the estate have a fantastic tradition on our estate anyway, of building their own bonfire. So the kids basically in the weeks, like a month, as much as a month ahead of time, people just leave stuff like sofas, all that out the front.
You've got to lock your gate.
Because otherwise they come for whatever. They come for whatever.
Your fence.
So
anything.
We used to, so all this stuff, you'll just see kids rolling sofas down the street, like getting to this big bonfire. And we had a bench outside our house where we'd like, if we could sit outside and other people come and sit and chat to us. We just come out the door one day, it was gone. That was it.
That was your neighbours. They didn't want you to chat to them anymore. And it was sick of you.
Talking too loudly.
Never to be seen
again. When we were kids, bonfires, they used to make them in the middle of the street.
Really?
So the road, 2 up, 2 down houses, little small roads, because there was no cars. They literally had, I don't know why we had roads really when there's no cars. It makes me think, like.
So cars were in existence.
Yeah, but there wasn't many.
There just wasn't many around.
There wasn't many in our street.
Go on.
And they'd literally build the bonfire in between the houses in the middle of the road, and it'd melt the tarmac on the road.
Wow.
No way.
Wow.
Honest. That was in most streets would have the bommy in the street. Like by the house.
Don't you think that the guys though, the penny for the guys, they've radically dropped in quality?
Well, they've gone, I think. I haven't seen one for ages.
But the kids when we did it as kids, you go all out, the jeans are straw and everything, you do it properly. And then you move to Liverpool and the kids just be like, there's a coat on the floor, a penny for the guy. Come on, guys, let's put some imagination.
Or they stand next to a homeless person. There's a penny for the guy. Penny for the guy, mate. We'll go halves with you, lads. Shut up.
And he said it's £3 now, not a penny. Inflation.
Who's that?
Danny.
Danny
Latham. Very good.
Very good. So you could be Nugget of the week.
So I was in charge of fireworks.
Okay.
It's like it felt like Emma's dad would normally do it, and the mantle's been passed on to me now.
Oh, it's like the barbecue, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've been given the fireworks.
When you get the tongs, that's
You've been given the fireworks. Were they in a metal box?
No, I went out. Oh, I don't know. No. What's wrong with your bar? It's flies everywhere.
Why are they even here? It's too cold.
But has anyone ever had a store? I've seen it go wrong. So I felt the pressure. I've been at fireworks displays where it goes wrong. If anyone's seen one, throw one in the comments. I was there once with the young people, and this lad was dead confident about fireworks. Yeah, done it loads, all that. So we left it to him, and we're all stood by the back door. Straight away, the warning for me was the fireworks were close.
Yeah,
and he was like, this way, everyone's on the front row. But that's what he said. But it was like quite casual the way he was being. Oh, wow. So he set it off.
He ignored that 25-meter rule.
Yeah, that was for losers, in his opinion. So he put it on a table. He put this big one, one of those ones you light and it just does it for you.
Yeah.
Put that on a table. Yeah. First one, pulled it over sideways like that.
And shot at everyone.
It just started firing at people like that for about. It was
brilliant.
Like a 5-minute display in a box, just like that, straight into the crowd.
No, that is dead.
Well,
funny.
the girl lost half the hair on the side of her face. Now you tell me that after I've said that. If you find that funny, mate, that's fine. That's the sort of thing you find funny.
When we were kids, we used to get like rockets and that, and we'd have fights with them. So we'd rob the waste pipes off houses.
The down pipes.
No, the 2-inch ones.
Oh,
off your sink. We'd rob them, we'd use them as our bazooka launcher. And you'd light it behind you. The problem is the thing would get you in the eye, you know,
as it went past,
the trail. And we used to shoot them at each other across the streets and that.
Oh, wow.
And I remember shooting the fella, he won't be watching, Wayne Clark.
He's dead.
Wayne Clark was running away this day. Literally running away. And I
lined up.
Load! Fire! Like shot him, and it hit him in the back.
Oh,
and as it hit him in the back, it exploded.
No,
oh, it was perfect. It was the perfect storm.
Wayne Clark, the Baptist minister.
No, it's not it. It's the same name. Wayne Clark lives in Mellon. No, I think he does. Yeah, the same lads we did the drive-by shooting with an air gun and shot him. He was one of our mates.
Well, last week
good to be one of your mates.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it was just a laugh.
Graham Jones told us last week about being expelled from school.
For
taking a shotgun into school. I mean, that's the way to do it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Was that the week before? Oh, Chazza last week. Chazza all the way from Australia.
Chazza, yeah.
It was good to have him in.
He is. He's always good form, Chazza, isn't he?
Here we go. Right, why is... Oh, Dad's asking questions. Why is your watermark backwards? Dad, this isn't a watermark. This is an actual thing. Someone give us.
It's just the batteries.
So turn it around like that. Is it not? There we
That's
go.
better. Yeah,
That's right.
Sorry.
It's the right way around now. Sorry, Dad.
Sorry, Dad.
Graham. Yeah, Graham Jones is in as well. Graham, we have 2 weeks ago. Catch up on Graham's episodes. That's well worth a watch. Okay,
well worth a watch.
Let's crack on then. I've got some questions, Matt. Let's get to. Yeah. I don't really know you, Matt. So I feel like that's
I've met him once, as I said earlier, and we were talking jacuzzis. Yeah. So, yeah.
Saunas.
He's the man.
Wow, there we go. We can get into that, but let's see what.
Let's get the questions first.
I've got a couple.
These are more important.
There's a lot of comments.
Than our questions.
Ask Matt about his. Okay. Well, ask Matt about his legendary. What's the next part of this sentence, Matt? Legendary half finger accident. Do you know what that means?
Yeah.
Dave Allen.
Oh.
So this part of my finger here is missing, as you can tell.
Matt, it's like you're doing that magic trick you used to do with kids. You really excel at that.
I'm really good at it. And the other one, if you shove your finger up your nose, it looks like it's going right into your... Yeah.
What happened? Can you tell us what happened? Is it a funny story or is it a sad story?
It's clearly sad. Stupid. Because he's lost his finger.
Did it involve fireworks? A pastor of a church firing fireworks at you.
My name was Wayne. I got shot in the back. Some fireworks.
What happened to your finger?
So this was about 19 years ago. A friend of mine at church wanted a new kitchen. We didn't really have a whole bunch of cash to put one in. So I was like,
I know someone like that.
I am exactly like that. So
I know someone like that. So if this friends, would you have a new kitchen for half a finger? That's the question. Carry on, Matt. Sorry.
Carry on, Matt. So this night's getting better and better for me.
I put this kitchen in, and it was only the second kitchen I'd ever built my whole life.
Okay.
And so it was just great fun building it all from scratch, build it out of ash. It was a beautiful kitchen.
Nice.
And it'd taken like weeks longer than I'd expected it to. And I'm just cutting the last piece of wood to finish this kitchen off. And I was in a rush. I'd taken the safety guard off the table saw.
Oh.
And I, without going into too much detail, I basically ran my hand alongside the piece of wood through the saw blade. And so I cut through 3 of my fingers, picked them up, put them in a tea towel, took myself off to hospital.
You didn't drive yourself to hospital, did you?
No, I got a friend of mine to drive me to hospital. And as I'm walking into the hospital, Dave Connolly is walking out.
Yeah.
No.
Dave was, because he used to be a nurse. He's also one of the best people on the planet, isn't he, Dave?
He's a good lad, Dave.
And he was walking out, and he said, "What are you doing here?" And I'm like, I'm screaming, with my hand. And I showed him what's going on, and he just took over A&E. He just turned around, walked straight, and said, "Right, you do this, you do that." And I'm like,
"Wow!"
And then he put like gas and air, the gas and air thing in my face, and wouldn't let me take it off. It was just an absolute legend. But anyway, that's what happened to my finger.
And so they could save 2, but not that one.
Well, to be fair, they saved all of them. It was the doctor that took that bit off, because he said it's just never going to function right. But the fact I can do that and I can use it is, well, you asked Dave, it's nothing short of a miracle, really.
Wow.
Yeah, really incredible stuff. But I was stupid.
Yeah, I've cut myself with lecky
but
saws.
when your kids are growing up, their friends would come around their house and they'd notice that part of your finger was missing.
Yeah.
And so they'd look at it like you're weird. And so a few of them would eventually, sort of pick up the courage to ask you, what's going on? And so I used to tell all kinds of stories. I'd try different ones out. Like I'd say things like, "Oh, a shark bit it off," or "A crocodile bit it off." I was wrestling an alligator or something. Yeah. My favorite story, my wife hates it, Sharon, was I'd say to the kids, I was massaging Sharon's foot and it melted off. And these kids would just look at Sharon and sort of, they'd sort of move away from us slightly.
I think that's another one for people at home. Come up with the best reason.
Why he's lost his finger.
Come on, that's worth a beer.
A new story.
A new story. Yeah,
he
needs a better one.
He needs a new story. So
the real one's too gruesome.
It is. If you can come up with one, that's worth a bar mag. And we've actually, Alan's brewed his own beer. Have you got any bottles left?
Yeah, but you won't want to drink it. It's absolutely awful.
Is it? No, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad.
Do you want a bottle now?
No.
Well,
right. Yeah, sound.
Even Jack won't drink it.
No.
and he drinks all sorts.
Paint stripper.
Yeah.
He's keen.
He's keen. He's gone.
£4 a bottle for you, mate.
£4 a bottle.
This is fancy stuff.
Any more questions for him before we start asking him stuff?
I'm going to save a couple of these questions for Matt halfway through. Let's get into Matt. Tell us a little bit about yourself. It'd be great to, like I say, we've not properly met. Alan's brought a jacuzzi from you before, by the sounds of it, but
I haven't. We were just chatting about it. I remembered the story about him. This fame that he ended up getting for nothing. Yeah. I remembered the story. It was quite good. Memorable.
Maybe that might be a story we get into.
That's the only time I've ever met him.
Well, Matt, tell us about yourself, mate. It's lovely to have you in the bar.
Well, it's great to be here. No, loving it. What do you want to know? I've been in Liverpool over 30 years now, 31 years. Came to the university.
What did you study? What were you studying?
Accountancy and finance. Did my degree.
He's got money.
On law as well. Accountancy, finance, and law.
Oh wow,
that's the holy trinity.
Yeah. But I left uni going.
Kendall Ball.
I left uni going. I never want to be an accountant. I never want to be a lawyer.
No.
So, but it was 3 great years, and that's what brought me to Liverpool. And the reason I chose Liverpool University was not because of the quality of the school, or it's because I don't know why I was always a Liverpool Football Club fan. And so I came here. I just chose Liverpool Uni just because Derby. I grew up in Derby.
Yeah.
Do you know what? The number of Liverpool Football Club fans who don't live in Liverpool.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Imagine the amount of Arsenal fans that don't live in London. Hey, I wonder how many of them are.
Carry on, Matt. Sorry, he's going to say things and interrupt all the time.
I will.
That's fine.
We tend to try and ignore him after a while.
Yeah, you do. It's just me head. It doesn't.
He'll shoot you in the back if you're not careful.
That's it. Yeah.
With a rocket.
You know what? One time we were playing foot. This is not related to anything, but we were playing this game of footy one Christmas. I was back home for Christmas. My brother said, "Listen, come play this game of footy with us." My brother's ex-army. And so there was a game between his infantry mates, and engineers from the local airport. They'd arranged this game with one of our neighbours.
Okay.
And it was like, we need a goalkeeper. You go play in goal. I was like, sure, no problem. And so here I am playing football with a bunch of squaddies, right? And the engineers, honestly, they were properly fouling all the time, to the point where I said to them at half time, I said, I'm not being funny, guys, but do you know who you're playing? These are squaddies. These are people who are trained to hurt people. Do you know what I mean? You want to play nicely. And anyway, they kept fouling throughout the second half, and it almost kicks off. And as the game ends, we're walking off the pitch, right? And the engineers are like, let's hold back, because there was a bit of a pinch point on the way off from the field. It was kind of surrounded by hedges, but you had to go through one way.
Gauntlet.
Yeah. And so they're like, well, let's wait back, because we definitely don't want to get in this pinch point with those guys, because it was all a bit, And there was a guy called Phil who was, this is a really funny guy. And he just said, I've had enough of this, in a squaddy kind of way. Throws his bag down on the floor, opens it up, pulls out what to the untrained eye, mainly mine, looks like a rocket launcher. Right? He pulls it out. He goes,
it was a pipe off the sink.
And he pulls it out and he opens it up. Ching, the the lens goes up, you know, the target in sight there, that goes up, ching. And I'm like, what's going on here? And he turns around and he points it at the footballers, the engineering team. And they all see this and go, that's a rocket launcher, because why would you not think that? These are guys from the army. He fires it, right? Yeah. And what it is, it's a flare training thing that they use for the rocket launchers, and it fires flares which sort of fly along and go up. And he fires it. They all hit the deck, hands on their heads like this. We don't want to die. We don't want to die. And it explodes right above them.
Oh, I want one of them. Do you?
That sounds great. That would be great on bonfire night round here. that would be boss.
I mean, for next year, because we've missed it now, haven't we?
I'm all over that for next year.
Yeah. Wow. Get them on eBay now, I guess.
Yeah. It's like Elon Musk, isn't it?
Mates from when you were in older shot.
Yeah.
You must have a few.
Yeah, loads, mate.
Yeah, loads, mate.
Loads. Yeah. So, so Liverpool. So you ended up in Liverpool.
Yeah.
State. You've been here ever since.
Yeah. I joined Frontline Church when I was just literally like a 6-month-old Christian when I arrived. Not long been.
So before you got to Liverpool?
Yeah, just before. I was living in the States at the time.
Whereabouts in the States?
North Carolina.
Oh, yeah. Never been there.
I was going to say, you don't know someone there as well, do you?
I've got some army friends over there.
Yeah, North Carolina.
Yeah, very
so
good.
yeah, I lived in North Carolina. I became a Christian there.
How did that happen?
How did that happen? Yeah.
Go on, we got to hear that story.
So what was going on? I was working at a children's home. I volunteered. I took a year out after sixth form, and ended up in North Carolina at this children's home called Nazareth Children's Home in a place called Rockwell, North Carolina. And this was pre-internet. I mean, a fax machine was a brand new thing at this point, right? So when an English guy goes into Backwater, North Carolina, it's a thing. Do you know what I mean? You know,
yeah.
And so I went over there, had a great time working in the children's home, but every week you had to take, part of my job was to take these kids to the local church.
Okay.
And they had this fiery old preacher, you know, sort of Pastor Don Larley, 60s, in his 60s, 70s, gray, silver hair flowing. Didn't matter what he talked about. He always preached the gospel, and he always told me how bad the youth were and how sinful they were. And I remember sitting there in church going, Lord, this guy's a lunatic. But if there's anything into what he's saying regarding, you know, the Christian thing, I want to know about it. And so, some of my friends over there who were Christians in the States, they were praying for me. And yeah, about 6 months later, I sort of gave in, for want of a better expression.
Gave in before he battered you.
Yeah. And was there a moment, or was it more like a dawning realization? Like, you know, because there's all sorts of responses. Yeah. We're always interested because, you know, for a long period in the history of the church, like a lot of microphone was given to people who had like a massive impact experience, and that's cool. That happens, you know. But also for many other people, it kind of like over a period of time they start to think, hang on, there's
something in this.
Yeah, there's something in this.
Yeah, and it's interesting, isn't it? The different routes that people take, and if you grow up like in a Christian family, you know, that's a different. Like my kids have had a very different upbringing to me. But for me, I'd always had a belief in God. It's not that I didn't believe God didn't exist, but I never really explored the Christian faith. And then I'd go to church every week. And I came back to the UK actually for 2 weeks over Christmas. And it was when I was back in the UK, just really felt the presence of God, just couldn't explain it. And I said, God, if you can do anything with my life, you can take it. So that's the point where I'd say to you that I became a Christian.
Because I think I thought there was a sort of a God, but I didn't think it mattered. Yeah. That was the way I was.
That's exactly right. That's what I'd say.
It didn't feel to matter.
Yeah.
There's a God.
There's a God, but so what?
So what?
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm not hurting anybody.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah. So what was it?
I was only 8.
I was 18. It took me a little bit longer.
You were hurting people probably even at 8. That was when you were right in that firework phase. Jesus was like,
I was about 14 then.
I better save him now. Otherwise, there's all sorts of bother.
Oh, we had a ball, you know, when we were kids.
Before as a Christian.
It was so much fun before I became
everything.
Yeah.
Jesus saved this grenade launcher.
And so into Liverpool, new to faith. Frontline Church, which is we speak. Dave Connolly's been on before. Dave was obviously one of the pastors of the church there.
Dave was one of the pastors with a guy called Nick Harding, and Dave took me under his wing, and Graham Jones took me under his wing.
Was Graham in Frontline at this point?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Graham, absolute legend, and he Graham would come round to the halls of residence, which is I was in Dale Hall. It doesn't exist now. They've knocked it down, but I was in Dale Halls the first year. Got to know Graham a little bit, and him and a guy called Chris Jones came round, and Chris Jones was just like a smaller version of Graham, both from really rough backgrounds, both extra
Chris from Kirby.
Yeah,
I know him. Yeah.
I know Chris.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
He's a good lad, Chris. Yeah.
Really fun. And there was a security guard in the halls. You kind of had to go through the security to get. They never stopped them once, Graham and Chris. And for the longest time, they thought I was doing drugs. I was dealing drugs in the halls of residence because Graham and Chris kept coming in, but they never stopped him, never questioned him. And so they took me into their wing a little bit, got involved in Bethany, which is now Frontline. It was Bethany back then. There was like 20, 30 people.
Yeah.
Wow.
And started hanging out with Dave and Julie, his wife, awesome people. Saw what a happy marriage could look like. All those things that I'd not really experienced. And just phenomenal time. Yeah.
Graham did ask, to be fair. He threw a question and asked Matt about the security at the university. They thought we were drug dealers. So it's spot on.
It's totally what happened. It's just really funny. The
Not
guy,
surprised, Graham. He probably had a gun.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Spat on him as I went in.
Yeah, very good.
I had an old downspout off a sink. Graham had a double barrel shotgun sawn off.
That shows.
It does.
So
I was a good lad for a boot. It's all relative.
You grew up on the right side of town.
It's all relative, innit? Yeah.
So people are asking. Some people are talking about this crowd church thing, Matt, and people are calling it the best online church in Liverpool.
I'm glad they said that.
Online rather than church. Just
I'm glad they said that.
Top of the list is Emmanuel.
No, it's got to be.
Church.
It's gotta be.
But it's the best online crowd church. Miriam's in as well now. Miriam, she says it's incredible. Tell us a bit about that then, Matt. How do you go from? There's probably a whole journey in between. Yeah. We're going to bounce around. I'm not doing this chronologically. But how do you end up doing a church online?
Yeah, totally by accident. Frontline wanted to plant churches. As a little strategy. And
just for people who don't know, planting churches, that would be like some people out of the main one.
Yeah. So a group of us would go into a different place in the city and then we'd start a church.
Where there might not be another church.
Where there might not be a church. And
it's kind of lively and stuff.
And so we have Frontline, which I think is a wonderful church. I just think it's an awful name. Right, just to be clear, I'm not a fan of the name Frontline, but it is what it is, right?
Frontline, like, what does your mind go to? Frontline,
battles, war,
like taking on people.
Yeah, World War II.
Yeah,
normally Hitler.
Yeah, Frontline. Hitler. If I'd go straight there, okay.
We always end up with Hitler with Alan. That's where we always end up. It's like 3 steps to Hitler.
I've ever mentioned Hitler.
Yeah, at the end of the night, he always does a salute and everything. It's very strange. Have
you ever been in
Father Ted? Have you seen Father Ted when he does that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a hilarious episode. But carry on. Sorry, Matt.
No.
So you're planting churches.
Planting churches. I never wanted to be a pastor of a church. I was quite happy. I just thought there's just no way. I was quite happy to do the leadership thing. I was quite happy to speak. I was quite happy to be the business guy in the corner. Just creating mess over here or doing whatever. That was fine. But I just really felt God say to me that he wanted me to head up the plant in town, the church plant in town. So we did. My wife and I, we started Frontline City.
Is that the one that met near Delphi for a bit?
No, that was the one. That was the student service.
Okay.
So we met in Gladstone's Cafe. It's not called Gladstone's now, though,
I know it. Yeah.
No, I know which one you mean.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tree of Life or whatever it's called.
Emma used to go down. They used to do a ministry in Gladstone's for people coming out of clubs. And they turned out like
it's unbelievable what those guys have done down there. I mean, it's phenomenal.
They also used to pick it up in a bus with Jesus Loves You on. So, it's all relative.
Yeah,
you win some. You
win some.
We got to wear flip flops on the bus.
Oh, well, fair enough.
Flip flops, yeah. So now we started that in town, and then COVID hit. Yeah. And so we just did what everyone else did. We're like, well, let's just stream it. And because for my job, half of my company is podcasting, live streaming.
Is it? Could you give us some advice, please?
Come on. Lads, we need you, lads.
What are we doing wrong?
We are totally failing here. This is hemorrhaging money. I'm telling you.
It's not cheap business.
No,
we literally, it cost us.
It's because you keep doing the Hitler salute on our podcast. It's a real audience killer, that.
It's not in Germany.
It's not in Germany. You know what? Going back to the sauna business.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should tell this story.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
So is Sharon ready?
Yeah.
Sharon's ready.
So we used to buy saunas and steam rooms from a company in Germany. Okay. That was the business. And then we'd install them in the UK. And I took over a guy called Keith and a guy called John to do some training in Germany in terms of the installation and the maintenance, how we do this. And the German company is big. It's like 500 or 600 staff. It's not a small company, right? And their head of installations came in as a favor to me to train Keith and John just to make sure they got it right and we could do a really great job in the UK. It's a really big deal. And he was great. A guy called Frank. Thought he was an amazing guy. I took Keith aside, especially Keith. John was good. He knew how to control his mouth. Ex-pub landlord.
John was you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm guessing Keith was me.
Yeah, let's see how this story pans out.
Carry on.
Keith, not so much. And I said to Keith, listen, it's first time. I don't know if it was his first time in Germany or not, but I said to him, I know you're going to want to joke about the war, right? I know you're going to want to do that. But please don't, because they're not ready for it yet. There's still this shame.
Too soon.
Yeah, too soon. There's still this shame in Germany about the war. It's why I'm convinced it's why as a nation they're so precise about everything, just because they want to prove that, they can do it millimeter perfect now. And so I said to him, just avoid it. And he went, okay. I said, no, seriously, don't do it. And so,
do you know what? The amount of times I've had this conversation with Alan.
Is he a Scouser?
No, it's not.
Right,
he could well be.
Because if you say to a Scouser, don't do that, that's the one thing they're going to do.
Yeah, well, to be fair, I've learned my lesson. I should have said to him, just mention it. And he's forgotten about it.
Go crazy.
Yeah. And bless him, he was trying very hard, and they were doing all this training, trying very hard.
Yeah.
And Frank was talking about a big job, like this multi-million-pound job they'd just done in Dresden. And Keith, without thinking, went, Dresden? Yeah, we bombed the out of that place. And you're just like, wow.
Yeah.
I've just been to Berlin. It was brilliant. You know, looking around and all that, and all the stuff and stuff to do with the war. It was actually really emotional and stuff. We went to a bunker and they showed us some stuff, and it was like, I'm not making a joke.
You don't know how nervous I am right now.
That's not by your face that you think, what's he going to say now? No, it was really emotional, and it was like, wow, wow.
Yeah, I've done a
massive.
I mean, it's Remembrance Sunday this Sunday coming, isn't it? And in terms of honoring people, and,
no, it was a massive eye opener to me about it all, because I guess we're a little bit further away from it. The further away, the less the impact it had on you. You understand what I mean? Like, our parents might have been born just after it, or their parents lived through it, and us, another generation further on.
Couple further on.
Us, don't be at it, right? But us, we're just that bit removed from it, where it did. But going and looking at their story of it, and there was no holds barred.
No.
They talked about the shame of it. Because they were basically saying, we don't want this to happen ever again. You know what I mean? It was actually fascinating.
It's an
for me, that's what Remembrance Sunday is about. Remembrance Sunday is about honouring those who paid the ultimate sacrifice, but it's also about acknowledging the fact that don't do this again.
Should never happen
this
again.
should never happen again. You know, and it seems to be wars everywhere at the moment, doesn't it? As well. Let's not get too political.
Oh, no.
Let's get back to Crowd Church. Sorry.
And on that bombshell. So I mean, we started going online, live streaming, and we just thought it was a good fit. So we changed the name from Frontline City because that didn't make sense for an online church. We called it Crowd, and we've stayed online ever since.
Okay. So it was the kind of lockdowns that sort of made sense for it, and then you see now, because we did this as a church. We went. It was Tom and Emma's idea. Actually, I thought it'd be a terrible idea because we were rubbish at streaming and stuff. And I've watched.
Jack sorted us out.
I've watched really good churches do worship online, and it always comes across not that good, in my opinion.
Well, the thing about it is, what you guys do well, and I think what we do well at Crowd is, this is intimate. You talk down the lens, right? Whereas the big churches, all they're doing is they're just filming what everybody else in the auditorium is seeing. So you just feel like you're just this sort of small, insignificant part, you know. Whereas when you're actually just talking to people down the camera, like you guys do, people feel like they're part of it much more.
Right.
And I think you can't, that's where you will always win, I think.
We literally changed that whole, and I've got to take my hat off to this fella, like, because it was him who pushed us that way. I mean, he had to do all the tech because I've got no idea, you know what I mean? But we changed our whole service because we were a typical kind of semi-charismatic evangelical church, weren't we? Where we do the whole 25, 30 minutes of singing, 25, 30 minutes of speaking. And we realized quite quickly, I think some of my experience then was that because of being in, doing shows and stuff and being in stuff, we realized quite quickly we needed to do segments, almost hymn prayer sandwich again, if you get what I mean. Because people's attention, particularly online, is even less really than tiny. Sitting in the room. And so we literally changed everything about it. And then because that went so well, what are you laughing at?
That's just the comments.
Okay.
It's not you. Go on.
Because that went so
He's
well
making a point
in terms of people tuning into it. Because I mean, we got ridiculous. We you know, at that time we were probably getting about 40 or 50 people in a room, weren't we? And we were getting over 1,000 watches. You know what I mean? It was ridiculous. But what we realized was what we were doing was scratching where ordinary people were thinking and wanting. And it gave them the chance to look first and then come if afterwards. But tune in anonymously almost. And when people said, when are we going back to normal? Me and him both sat there and went, nah, we're loving this. We're loving this.
So you have to stick with it.
We're loving this. We were loving it, weren't we? And we were loving the fact that loads of people who wouldn't normally come to church were engaging with it. And so we both said, we're not going back to normal. This is normal now for us. I've said it before on this. I can't believe the amount of leaders meetings I've sat in when they said, if you've had a blank page, what would you do differently? We got COVID and then everyone went straight back to doing what they did before it. Couldn't believe it. It's just like, that was your blank page.
No, I'm with you. It's unbelievable. And so I think probably about 80% of the people that tune into Crowd Church are unchurched people. And so it changes everything that you do about it. The language you use, everything. And you sort of see it then as you go, well, okay, well, people are coming to Crowd. It's like it's an introduction in a lot of ways, you know, to the Christian faith for a lot of people. And it's amazing the conversations that start as a result of that, you know, just incredible stuff that we've had, you know, come through and connect with people on. So I'm with you. I think it's, I never wanted to go back to how it was before because just reaching unchurched people, which is, you know, part of what the church should do, really, isn't it? It's an unbelievable tool.
And I think it's become a real barrier as well. People are just not, people don't go to church for rarely, you know, very rarely. And so to actually walk into a church building, that's massive for people to overcome. And so we just find, you know, there's people, you know, who'd watch this and who are genuinely interested in faith, but where do they go? Because they feel like just too nervous to go into a building. I totally get it, because it can be hit and miss, can't it? Whether you know,
well, feel how you feel going into situations that you're not normally used to. You know, whatever they are, just walking into a room that you don't know everyone. You're the stranger. It's hard, isn't it?
So I think people are interested in faith. I still think people are interested.
Massively
like,
so.
It's not like
massively so.
People think it's gone away now, that people just aren't interested. But I think a lot of people are similar to maybe how you guys were, where like, I think there, you know, I would say, if you pushed me on it, I think there probably is a God, but so what, you know? And and I think giving people an opportunity to explore the so what is important, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's what
I'd say so.
Do you do alpha then on this kind of online stuff?
Yeah, we do online alpha.
Nicola says she's part of crowd and she says she loves it.
Yeah,
absolutely loves it.
And Nicola's great. You know, she's awesome.
Lala?
Yeah, Lala, she's awesome.
Nice.
But she can't get to a church every Sunday.
Yeah.
So you know what? So it's not just the unchurched; it's the Christians that can't actually get into a church building.
Yeah.
You know,
it's great.
And so no, it's awesome. And Lala's awesome. You know, she's phenomenal. So, but yeah, we do the online alpha. And there was one lady I remember realizing the fascination with me in online and the power of what it could be. This one lady came along to the online alpha. She had a camera and a microphone turned off for the first 4 or 5 weeks. And we're just thinking, is this just a crank? Is this just some, do you know what I mean? Because you don't know this. You can't see them. You can't hear them. They're not replying to anything. They're not saying anything. And after about 4 or 5 weeks, I think it was, she turned a microphone on and she'd say something every now and again. But by the end of alpha, she'd put a camera on and a microphone and she was properly engaging. And so for her, that journey, there was no way she was ever going to go into a church building to do alpha. Doing online alpha was bad enough. And it took her, you know, a good few weeks. But eventually she came to a place where she was part of it and she was discovering faith, which was amazing. You know, you can do that.
We've got Dave, haven't we? Who started like that. He started off screen. Yeah. His wife was on screen and he was off screen. Yeah. And every now and again, you'd see his half of his head. I think. Yeah. He's now leading alpha with Tom's wife on a Wednesday afternoon. Yeah.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It is.
He's embraced it as well. He's got the t-shirt. He's literally got the t-shirt. He rocks
with a big question mark on it.
And he's got a folder and he's ready to. But again, like for him, that's been a journey, isn't it? A real journey of faith. What God's been doing, and he had give him the opportunity to explore the so what, because he would turn up to church and just because Rachel would go and he'd come to pick her up and he'd sit in the car because coming in the building's a big deal, isn't it? It's a big deal.
It's too much.
So given, so people can check out Crowd Church on Facebook, YouTube. Is that right?
Facebook, YouTube. Yeah.
Great.
If you look at Crowd Church, we'll come up.
Type in Crowd Church. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Fab. Yeah.
And I feel like there's one or two more questions just to round this. What are you pointing to?
I'm pointing at something you wrote down a minute ago. Someone asked a question.
Asked something about what your favourite makeup was there. It feels like there might be a story.
My favourite makeup?
Yeah.
If you don't know what who
was it?
Let me see.
Write in again.
Yeah, let us know. What was that all about? Maybe they just genuinely think you've...
I used to own a beauty company.
Did you now?
Yeah.
Paul, you've had a lot of businesses on the go.
He's a bit of an entrepreneur. I reckon he's loaded on the slide.
He loaded. How much?
Define loaded. Yeah.
More money than me and Alan put together.
I don't know. This bar's worth a few quid.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's it, isn't it?
Well, it's Finnegan's bar, secret location. You know what I mean? So,
And Nicola did ask Matt about his gym.
My gym.
Yeah.
Well, I have a at the house.
He is going to make me sound loaded. Here we go.
He's got proper money. If he's got a proper room for a proper gym,
that's it.
That's proper money.
Matt, it's buymeacoffee.com /Finnegan. You might have thought we might compensate you for your petrol or something tonight, but no, this is working the other way.
Yeah. We've got to pay to play. And we converted our garage to a gym.
Oh, nice.
And it was when COVID hit, I realized actually that was one of the best investments ever. So one of the jobs that I did for a friend of mine was I managed his gyms for a few years, just to see if I could do it more than anything. And some of that old equipment I put in our garage.
Nice.
And so when COVID hit, we were in there all the time. Unbelievable.
I mean, in fairness, when COVID hit, me and Becky just made TikTok videos and drank strawberry daiquiris in the garden. It was the best 3 months of my life.
The TikTok videos normally followed the daiquiris. I think that was how that worked. And there we go. A couple more questions then to round things out. Ray saying, what's Matt's interest in woodwork? Bit of a woodworker.
Oh, that's because he put it in the chat.
It's that start when Sharon and I got married. Like everybody when they get married, we had no money, but the house needed a kitchen, so I just went and bought some 2x4s.
Got money now.
Screwed them together. made the kitchen, sort of fell in love with woodwork a little bit.
Nice.
And because primarily what I do for a living is all digital, even the church is digital in a lot of ways. It's all online. Wood is just something you can touch and feel. It's like it's analog. And so it's just my hobby, really.
Nice.
And so I've got a little wood shop make furniture.
Very good.
Right. Okay.
My
Ray
wife
makes stuff from
Yeah.
the beach. Like
driftwood,
driftwood, and he
driftwood.
makes bits of stuff and
Like
that.
from driftwood and things
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, it's very
He's
good.
done very. He does very
it
well,
does
doesn't he?
really
He's very
nice,
good.
Mm.
And he made something for the grocery, didn't he? He made them some shelves and that recently.
Hey, Ray, I seen them. You finished article. I know I was a bit like skeptical, to say the least. Boss job, mate.
The grocery manager. I walked in. Alan's handy, very handy. He's handy. And we walked into the grocery, and the manager was there going, "Oh, we could do with these shelves redoing in a better way and all that.
And
if only
like,
someone would do it." And we're just looking at Alan.
They're just looking at me. I'm basically the caretaker of the church. I'm not the minister. I'm the caretaker.
Yeah. And now Emma's found out your interest in woodwork and kitchens.
I'm
she
sure
said,
she has.
"Can Matt fit our kitchen for us?"
Virtually.
Yeah, that's it. Very good. Danny says he sat
on a top job.
Yeah, he is. Danny said, "I sat in my gym, ... drinking beer."
Working out my biceps. Yeah.
That's it. Very good.
Oh, we had a ball in lockdown, me and our Becky.
And Matt has asked several times, has Matt had work done on his face?
This is the Screw standard thing. Yeah, no.
No, you're just naturally that good looking.
Just
radiate.
Naturally. It's come from owning a beauty company.
He's only 26.
That's
I was 24 years ago, sure.
Yeah. We're going to play a game in a minute, but I've got one last question.
Oh, go on. What's the question?
It's a deep question.
Okay.
I'm going deep.
Yeah. Let's go deep.
But basically, you said, when all those years ago when you were younger, before you became a Christian, you said, I believed in God, but so what? I guess my answer is all these years later, what was the so what now that you are a Christian and you've chosen, rather than, I guess, just having a sense that there could be a God or thinking there would probably a God.
Yeah.
And you've gone from there to thinking, I'm going to nail my colours to the mast. I'm going to give this a go. How's that worked out? What's the difference been in your life because of that?
Oh, it's chalk and cheese.
Is it?
Yeah, it's unbelievable, isn't it? The difference. So you go from a place of thinking that you're in control of your life, because that's what you think when you're a teenager. To be fair, it's what most people think most of their lives. And then you go to a place where going, actually, no, it's not about my control. It's about your control. And if you are real and if you are alive, then you can probably do something more interesting with my life than I could by myself. Right. And so then the journey becomes the adventure, doesn't it? And you go on this God adventure, and you go through some tough times, you go through some amazing stuff, you see incredible things, you see hard things, but all the time going through it going, man alive, this is a hell of a ride, isn't it? You're just like, and I thank God I'm on the adventure, and that this is all. I would never want to do like an online show. It just makes no sense to me in a lot of ways, just from the cost, the energy, the sweat, that you guys know it, right? Why am I doing this? But then the stories that come out of this, and you kind of go, somehow in this, God, you use me to be a part of that. And that's incredible. And that's amazing. And so, I would never have met my wife if I wasn't involved in the church. And she is just the most amazing person on the planet. And, I've been married 25 years to the most incredible woman. My parents got divorced when I was 9. Loved both my parents, but I didn't want that for me. And I didn't want that for my kids, And so she's awesome. The kids we have, just awesome. So I'm just, super thankful. And if I'd just kept the so what, I probably would have made a lot more money in reality.
Yeah.
But I'd be broken. I'd be miserable. Probably divorced at least once. Kids probably wouldn't talk to me. And I could see the path that was sort of. I asked God once, really odd question. This I said to God, I remember asking him, where would my life be if I'd have not become a Christian?
Kind of sliding doors moment.
Yeah. What would my life look like? And I remember praying about it, and I remember feeling God say to me, it's not what your life would have looked like. It's what these lives would have looked like. And he just pointed out like other people's journeys, other people's stories where I'd had impact, and he'd used me to have impact on them.
Very good.
And it was a really powerful moment for me. And I just thought, just incredible, really. It's like with crowd, just the stories that come in. I love doing crowd, and I love the buzz of it, you know, the live streaming. But ultimately, it's the stories, isn't it, that come in of lives changed, and you're just super thankful.
And that's the I think that's the thing in life, isn't it? The people. It is the people that
it's always the people, isn't it?
It's always the people.
The people and the stories, because you'd have, as he's just said, you'd have good and bad times, don't you? In your own personal life and the people around you.
Yeah.
That is them highs and lows.
Yeah.
It's what makes the highs special and things like that, isn't it? But it's always the stories. I mean, I did that wedding last Sunday, and it was just fabulous to be. It wasn't a Christian wedding. Do you know what I mean? It come off the back of that Another One podcast, which was like, as you know what that's like. You think this is bad. What's that? That's another level. It come off the back of that. So, you know, but to be part of that and to bring something redemptive into that situation, even though there was no mention of God on anything in it. Although I sneakily read 1 Corinthians, you know, love is patient, love is kind.
Just to make it official.
That in, but to be part of that was fabulous.
Yeah.
And I remember afterwards, because I've been feeling a bit like useless lately, but afterwards...
it's okay, mate.
I'll
can
try
fit my
and learn
kitchen.
the tech. I could fit your kitchen, I fitted my own. Yeah.
Go on, carry on.
And afterwards, I thought, no, this is good.
Yeah.
There's something good about this.
Yeah.
Even though it wasn't necessarily a God thing, but they recognized the God thing as well. Not in the service, but in chats to me. And they came and met me in the church. They were really interested in the grocery. They said they're going to send a gift for the grocery.
Yeah, that's great.
They're in Mexico now. They won't be watching this, but there was something good about being part of that moment for them. And that they wanted me to be part of it. If you understand what I mean. It's like doing the funeral the other day. There's something good that, again, not really a Christian funeral, you know. We did say the Lord's Prayer together. We sang Happy Birthday as well, which was dead weird. Because it would have been their birthday that day.
Oh wow!
But it was honestly, it sounds really mad, doesn't it?
Though.
Yeah.
But it was it was really powerful. People were in tears, but singing it at the top of the voice.
Yeah.
It was amazing. I was thinking that this could go really badly, you know. But being part of them moments in people's lives, you know, is
Chaz last week, who's not a Christian, would say he doesn't have faith, but he talked about people being a gift. And he talked about like the gift of life. And I found it really interesting that, you know, although he wouldn't hang any faith on that, he's got this sense of value that people have, and also value that he has, and
value
life
you can bring to others. That was the thing.
For me, that makes sense.
I've been doing Bible readings this week, and they've all been based around that.
Have they?
It's weird. After him saying it, I'm like, I'm hearing it as I'm reading. Anyway,
and for me, that makes sense. That finds its sense in that Christian belief that we carry something of God's. You know, we're made in His image, whatever that means. You know, like that we carry something of value, and I think people just get that. People just know that inherently, that a human life is valuable and precious, and then to live a life where you get to cheer people on, you get to...
It's Robbie Williams, isn't it? Robbie Williams. There's a hole in my soul. You can see it in my face. It's a real big space.
Wow.
That's one of his lyrics off his song. I just want to feel real love in the world that I live in.
I thought you were going to start singing that.
I was trying to be poignant.
Ruin the moment there, bro.
I just want to feel.
It's good though, isn't it? It is good. It is good.
Oh,
right.
dear.
Let's play a game. We need some help at home. Matt, this has been a good conversation. I've really enjoyed this.
That's been great.
We haven't even asked you all the questions we wrote down, but we've sort
we'll
of
do part two at some point.
We're doing part two. We could easily do a part two
with Matt.
Really good.
Easy.
I normally, for a while, Matt, I've been doing a game. People join at home, very popular. People very enjoyed it very much. And Alan's basically taken that mantle on. But you know how he said he thinks he's not very good at things? He is good at lots of things, but this game's
not your strength.
It's better than Linky.
It's a stinker.
Linky was one of them middle class games where you need to know words. right?
Okay.
Like proper words, big words and that. So it comes from being educated. That kind of thing, you know.
Okay.
So
I'm not going to do well then.
Just play along at home, okay?
Right. We're playing blankety blank.
Patronise.
Okay.
Yeah.
See?
Blankety blank. Blankety blank.
Blankety blank.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Blankety blank, checkbook and pen.
That's it. You don't get one of them because we haven't got one.
Oh, okay. I was getting excited.
I've got an hour.
You need that really long
microphone that I used to have.
On the top,
Yeah.
Who did this?
Terry Wogan.
Terry Wogan originally, then Les Dawson. Les Dawson took it to the next level.
Oh, he did. He brought the comedy factor, didn't he?
Yeah, this is terrible, isn't it? He took it to that. This is terrible, isn't it? Let's not pretend this is awful.
So give us some help at home.
Yeah.
People help at home.
Blank. Yeah.
Go on,
you know the rules. You know how to play blankety blank, don't you?
It'll come back to me.
Read the statements out. Me, Tom, and Jack have to come up with an answer.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
But we can't wait to hear what Jack comes up with.
This is the first time Jack's played it.
The terror on his face when you said that. Oh, Jack, this is
it's probably worth saying you can't use Google.
No,
anybody
and then we
30,
come back to you. We ask you. You give us your answer. We have to say what our answer was.
Okay, cool. Okay.
The highest marks we've got in this game up to now was 2.
Yeah.
Out of 9.
Okay.
So
we're setting the bar high, is what you're telling me.
You should really be miles ahead on this at the moment, right?
There's been some answers on this.
There is, yeah. So in the comments,
so you write your answer in the comments. That would be really good.
Yeah.
So everyone at home, play along. Throw your answer in the comments as quick as you can.
I don't know if you know this, Tom, but our local horse
sanctuary... That's the game started now. Is this the game? Okay, all right.
Our local horse sanctuary, Shiloh, yeah, they've sort of diverse, right?
This is terrible.
And they've started homing circus animals, retired circus animals.
Okay.
Right? And every now and then they've been seen to ride into Marion Square on a blank.
Okay. That one actually makes sense.
Well, there you go.
Okay.
So our local horse sanctuary, are you listening?
Yeah.
They've started taking in retired circus animals as well. Right, so not just horses, circus animals from the circus that are getting a bit old, need a bit of a home in the last few years. Okay,
you don't need to expand on it, mate. We're going to be here all night.
All right, calm down. But every now and then, they ride into Marion Square on a blank.
Okay, throw your answers in at home. So don't wait. Be really clear about this because you got it wrong last time. Who do you want to say it out loud at this point?
In a minute. Matt's going to say it out loud, and then we're going to say if we
thought
it. So it's not a horse, okay?
I know.
Okay.
All right, here we go then.
So, right, Matt, what's your answer?
Elephant.
Elephant.
Oh, never mind, no. Jack, what's your answer? Go on, what are you going to say? Right, don't just tell us. Don't change it.
Skateboard.
I listened to that completely wrong.
Do you know what? Graham Jones also said skateboard. You and Graham are on the same wavelength. You are.
Yeah. Have you got a gun on your wardrobe as well? What were you going to say?
Elephant. Yes, elephant.
2 points. He's already top of the leaderboard.
Is that what you were going to say? Elephant?
Yeah, elephant. Yeah.
Very good.
It's obvious, isn't it?
Well, no, not to everyone.
Well, not to skateboard. What do people say in there?
Karen went for elephant.
Well done, Karen.
Emma went for horse. Matt went for pigeon.
I actually said it's not a horse.
Danny went for rocket launcher.
That could be commented the week.
There's some elephants, there's some lions, chimpanzee, ostrich, skateboard. On a camel.
I can't believe 2 people said skateboard.
Camel feels like a callback, doesn't it?
Don't use PVA glue on camels.
Camel, true.
Yeah.
That was Annie, wasn't it?
Annie,
okay,
what a woman. We'll have to have her back on. Okay, second question. You're listening?
Yep.
Our community grocery, right, in our church, relies on generous donations. And we'd love to give Greggs a big thank you for their generosity, wouldn't we, Tom?
Thank you, Greggs.
Thank you, Greggs is right. But I've noticed the order's getting a little bit posher. Instead of ham sandwiches, we're getting blank sandwiches.
Well, it doesn't say blank sandwiches here.
I just added that little bit on. Okay. Okay.
Read it once more, as quick as you
So
can.
our community grocery relies generously on donations, and we love to thank Greggs for their generosity. I've noticed it's getting posher. Instead of ham sandwiches, we're getting blank sandwiches.
Quick as you can at home.
You keep,
Write your answers.
Right, yeah. Are we
Quick
right?
as you can.
Write your answers quick as you can.
Yeah.
Come on.
Okay.
There's a clue in it. There's always a clue in the question. Of course there is. What's
Instead
a
of
posh
ham
sandwich? Come on.
No.
Oh, come on. It's
right,
obvious.
go on.
He'll get it. He'll get what I've said.
Go on. All right. So
Don't eat
who's
sandwiches.
going for Jack's response is, I don't eat sandwiches.
Yeah, but just think of anything you can have on a butty.
What's the
Do you need
sandwich?
butties?
Yeah. Honestly. My mate.
Hang on, wait.
no,
That can't be your answer because he's got to give us his answer.
All right, go on then.
So, Matt, come on. What's your answer?
Matt?
Well, for me, when I was a kid, to
Oh.
turn a ham sandwich into a posh sandwich, you had cheese.
So, ham and
Ham and
cheese.
cheese.
Ham and cheese. Do you know what? That's interesting because that's Emma's house when it was when she asked me, "What do you want, ham or cheese sandwich?"
And you said both.
I said ham and cheese, and they thought. I
You
realised that was the
greedy
wrong
pig.
thing to say.
You greedy Tory. Slocum wants everything again.
They
What's
looked at
his
me
cake
as
eating?
like, they looked at me as like, "Bro, that's two sandwiches."
Ham and
Times two
cheese.
sandwiches.
Ham and cheese.
Ham and cheese.
So Matt, you've
it's
gone
a taste
for
sensation.
Ham and cheese. We'd have ham and cheese after Mum did shopping day.
okay.
Wow.
Yeah, because the fridge was full, so you'd have ham and cheese sandwiches.
Ham and cheese.
So
I was going to say cheese.
cheese.
cheese. You were going to say
Yeah.
cheese.
That's one. That's one more. He's in the lead now. Sam, what were you going to say?
Smoked salmon.
Smoked salmon. I was going to say prawn. Prawn sandwiches.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Come on, get
Well-
the Roy Keane.
So he gets 1 point for that.
So he's on 3 now.
Other
Last
people said
question.
spam,
Spam.
smoked salmon, salmon, cucumber.
Salmon.
True, Joyce.
Maybe salmon.
Cucumber,
I should have.
yeah.
Cucumber, yeah. They're posh sandwiches. Cheap.
The
but
Queen's
posh.
favourite sandwich, wasn't it? Cucumber
Was it
sandwich.
cucumber?
Mhm.
It's not a
Apparently.
great sandwich, that.
Right.
That's
So
just
our
the-
last
Crisp,
question.
crisp sandwiches there.
You're already in the lead. In
Okay.
this brilliant game that
Oh.
we play.
Connor's
Well-
saying hello. Connor O'Brien's coming to join us, isn't
He's
he?
coming, yeah. I hope you're coming. I've got you booked in for the 6th
Connor-
of December.
And how do you know Connor?
Met
Just
him
a
on a
pre-
cruise.
Met him on a cruise.
He was the entertainment.
Another cruise.
Oh, another cruise. Met him at the entertainment.
It took you a while to place
Top
Connor,
lad.
didn't you?
Top lads. No, he met as soon as you said his name.
Peanut butter and jam, says Sadaf. I hope I'm saying your
peanut
name
butter
right,
and jam.
Sadaf.
It is
Right.
Sadaf.
Is it? Good. Yes.
You couldn't say
Um,
Dion, but you know.
You can't.
Sadaf's Canadian.
Is he?
She.
Sorry.
He's just misgenderized.
Oh, sorry.
How dare you?
You say a name
out.
right.
Cancelled. No one was watching anyway, but they cancelled us.
Well, all right, yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, Sadaf.
Yeah, sorry, Sadaf.
He
Hey.
shoots, he misses.
Right, our last question. Our last
Okay.
question.
Thank goodness.
We're all doing our we're all doing our bit to save the environment, aren't we, Tom?
You're not.
I am.
I feel like
I'm gonna die.
I think,
That'll reduce me carbon footprint,
I
won't
think
it?
before you die, you're trying to take as many people with you as possible.
Don't say you. So on bonfire night, instead of having the traditional bonfire, my neighbour Craig next door,
Yeah.
right, he had a blank one instead.
Great.
Well done,
Go
Craig.
on, read it once more.
We're all doing our bit to save the environment, aren't we, Tom? On bonfire night, instead of having a traditional bonfire, my neighbour Craig had a blank one instead. Well done, Craig.
You messed it up. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So we had a blank
Something.
one instead.
Okay.
So have
Answer as
got
quick
an
as you
answer? Have got an
can.
answer?
Quick as you can.
Okay. Matt, you've got to get this because this is right up your street.
Well, I'd say digital one.
Digital.
Yeah,
Is that
so
right?
Like fire on a TV type thing.
Oh, that's a good answer. It's not what you're looking for, though, is it? Oh, so
Carry
you're-
on.
Okay, all right. What were you going to say, Jack?
What were you going to say?
Well,
It's a barbecue
barbecue.
instead.
So
It's
instead
good.
of having a
It's
traditional
good.
I like that. That's
bonfire,
good.
It's
Yeah.
good, but it's not right, Jack.
I don't even know if it's good.
What were you going to say?
Smokeless.
Smokeless.
Because you can get smokeless fuel, can't you? You don't know because you're not
See,
trying to
I
save
was
the
going to
environment.
say virtual.
Yeah.
I think you're giving that point for that.
I think
think you're giving
that's
him a
why I
point for
said because it's a point in it.
Yeah.
Virtual, digital. Yeah.
Yeah. Well done.
Virtual bomb. 4.
4.
You're massively in
He's
the lead.
doubled.
It's never going to be beaten. No,
That won't
never.
be beaten in this
Not
game.
with the
I
level
can't.
of guests we normally have. Honestly. Yeah. It's not getting beaten.
Oh, dear me.
Virtual. Some people did say virtual. There you
Well
go.
done.
Electric.
Well done.
Electric.
Electric.
Still a fossil fuel, Dad, isn't it?
Not if it's wind power.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Solar
Solar
powered
as well.
fire.
Yeah.
Silent, said Nicola.
Silent bonfire.
Torch. Smokeless. Cloudy. Gas.
What did Craig say? Because he was the one who had it. Not watching,
He's
is
not
he?
watching something. Come on, Craig. Very good. Top of the board. Top of the board.
Time has flown.
It
tonight,
has.
Tom.
It's been a good night. It's been a good night. We're going to finish with a story, Matt.
Yeah.
So basically, Matt, this is how it works. And if you're new to Finnegan's, if you've been watching and you're a guest, please like and subscribe on YouTube.
Yes,
That'd
I'm
be
not
good.
going to say a word.
Subscribe on YouTube. Like us on Facebook. Give it a little share.
Yeah.
That'd be a massive favor for us. We
I mean, if you want to,
that. And if you want to,
buymeacoffee.com/Wednesday night Finnegan.
that's not the web address.
I was going to say, I thought it was /Finnegans.
That's it.
This has been here once.
Buymeacoffee.com/.
Buymeacoffee.com/Finnegans. And we can get a new microphone.
Yeah.
Do you need
For
a new
Matt.
microphone?
We do need it.
What microphone do you need?
Just a better one.
Better ones
Well,
than
those.
you've got.
No, these are all right.
These are
but-
all right.
They're the ones I use.
Yeah,
They're great.
are they? Yeah,
Yeah,
I
these
like
are
these,
all
but
right.
we would another couple. We need a couple more of them, I think.
Okay.
A Turtle Beach headset.
A Turtle Beach headset. That sounds like it would be painful.
Danny says must have been sending his money to the wrong account. Then he's been going to the web address you've been saying.
He's been stands up to another one podcast instead. Right.
Okay, so basically how it works, Matt, and for everyone at home is basically we have a members list
This is
in the bar.
behind us.
This
here.
is all of our prestigious.
Oh yeah, I can see
VIP.
Dave Connolly's name. Yeah.
Dave's up there. Yeah, we've got MPs up here. We've got
Yeah.
councillors. We've got all sorts up here.
We've got
Crumpet Barbara.
college lecturers. Crumpet Barbara's up here.
Yeah.
Well done, Crumpet Barber.
So there's all sorts here, mate. Doctors. So you could be up here.
Tom's up here as well. So
I'm up
it's,
here.
you know,
Okay.
And basically,
low bar.
if the story's good, everyone at home likes it. Then what happens is
Get them on the wall, lad.
you go on the wall,
You get them on the
and
wall.
so
yeah.
we put your name up there. You can come back whenever you want
Yeah, anytime.
Okay.
Anytime.
to pop in,
Pop in.
have a drink,
Middle of
hang
the
out
night.
for the evening.
Ask
No
me
problem.
for some bread. I'll get up. I'll give you it.
Fair play.
Very biblical.
Well, I know where you live now.
That's
It's
it.
in my sat nav.
No, it's a secret location. Don't forget.
Yeah, I'll put it on the Facebook group later.
That's it.
L30. Go on.
But if it's not a good
Oh
story,
no, if it's a terrible
and it's
one.
we've come close a couple of times, haven't we?
Oh, we come close with
One-
the fella who was the stand-in busy.
Yeah. John.
John
He said
Rogers.
he let it slip that he used to be a
Well,
busy.
he let it slip that he was a busy.
He didn't even get paid to be a busy.
No,
he just
he was
did
one
it
of
for
them,
free.
like-
Oh, he did the
And it got
special
very
constabulary.
dicey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he was.
Got
It
very
was.
dicey.
It was touch and go with him.
I
Yeah.
almost did that, but
So,
God spared me the last
You're
minute.
all right.
Yeah, you're fine then. But so if it does go wrong,
You're bad. You're bad.
you get barred,
You're
Okay.
bad.
and
lad.
we couldn't.
Stakes are high then. aren't
we
they,
can't
really?
even talk to you.
We couldn't
Okay.
talk on you.
Yeah. We literally have to go the other side of the road. No, good
Right.
Samaritan and all that.
We
Yeah.
we wouldn't even talk to you digitally. We'd have to block you. We'd have to block you everywhere.
Block
couldn't-
crowd
We
church.
couldn't come to
Yeah,
crowd
crowd
church. No,
Crowd church cancelled.
that's it. That would really.
That'd be the end of my career as a pastor.
So
This is the end of mine. Don't worry.
career-ending podcast.
Oh dear, mate. This has been Boston.
It has been a good night, hasn't it? A very good night. So we'll hand over to
Yeah.
you, Matt, for your story, and we wish you well.
So I have two options. You get to choose which story you want.
Oh, people love a bit of choice.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll let them decide.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was talking to Sharon about this earlier
Okay.
because there's the toothbrush story,
Oh.
and then there's the how Sharon and I got together story,
Which is the one she told you not to tell?
Yeah.
the toothbrush story.
Okay, quick as you can.
She'll be fuming.
Write in the comments which one you want. Straight away, toothbrush. It's got to be toothbrush. Then. Toothbrush, please.
Sharon's fuming.
You weren't quick enough, Sharon.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
afraid.
sorry, Karen. Sorry,
It's
Karen.
overwhelmingly the toothbrush one.
Is that what's coming in? The toothbrush
Yeah.
story? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Go for it. Yeah. Do you know what? We'll make this into a TikTok and throw it everywhere for Sharon.
Just tag her in.
Tag
all
her
the
in
time.
it.
Yeah, tag
That's
her in.
it. Great.
So I just want to preface this story by saying my wife is an amazing person.
Here we go. Oh, I love it. Go on.
I just want to preface everything by
Good stuff. Yeah.
So one day, we just moved into the house that we're living in now, and Josh, my eldest, was like 3 or 4 at the time, young lad. And I said to Sharon, I said, I'm just not feeling great, feeling a bit sick, if I'm honest with you. And she's like, oh, that reminds me, don't use your toothbrush. And I'm like, the toothbrush I've just used to clean my teeth, like an hour or so ago. She's like, yeah, don't use that. I'm like, why? She goes, well, earlier I found Josh cleaning the toilet with it.
Oh.
And my wife saw Josh cleaning the toilet with my toothbrush. But the question you've got to ask yourself is what happened next? Yeah. So obviously she cleans Josh up. She's a responsible mother. You want to get your son cleaned up, have to being down in the toilet. My son was just trying to be helpful, didn't really know what he was doing. But my wife, for whatever reason, which I've still not been able to figure out, took that toothbrush and put it back in the toothbrush holder. Didn't throw it away.
I've got I've got no
Just
words.
put it back.
Does she like you?
I thought you said she was a wonderful human being.
Well, I have to say that because if that's what she did with my toothbrush.
Exactly. Oh. Wow.
No.
Are you insured?
To be fair, we had 2 young kids at the time, and I think her brain was just a bit frazzled. But
yeah, she didn't think that through long term, because if she was ever going to kiss you again,
it's like your breath stinks.
Payback.
Yes, I've been licking the toilet.
Very good. All right, let us know at home, on the wall or bars. Throw it up in the comments.
I think
on
we
the
should
wall or bars.
Shannon's definitely bad. Shannon's never getting in Finnegan's. Hey, what do you think?
I'm not letting her anywhere in.
No,
my
not
toothbrush.
no,
That's for sure.
Dear me,
Cool.
never. Imagine. No. Anyway.
Okay, here we go. Let's see. On the wall from Karen. On the wall from Ray. On the wall from Emma for surviving that wall from Matt Crew. Get him on the wall, lad. It seems overwhelming, so we will.
Get him on the wall.
Get him on the wall, lads.
Fantastic.
Very good. That's just what
fabulous.
you wanted. So the pen's out. We are actually running out of space here, aren't we?
You're going to need a bigger wall.
We are.
Or you're going to need to take some of those T-shirts down and move over to that
Yeah,
one.
we could.
Possibly.
We could get a second camera angle, couldn't we?
Lower, couldn't we?
Okay,
just under Andy.
Oh, you're a left-handed.
He is.
Yeah. Very good.
Matt.
Oh, wait, hang on. What was the nickname?
Edmo.
Edmo. Put right Edmo now. You ready?
Yeah.
EDMO, I'm guessing.
Yep.
That'll do. Matt
There we
Edmo.
go.
Yes.
What a night it's been.
And we can watch Crowd Shirt still.
We were, yeah. What, straight after this?
What a weight off my shoulders.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Sorry. Took me a second.
Keep up.
Took me a second to get your jokes. It normally does.
I tell you what.
What a good night.
What a good night.
So, like I say, subscribe to our podcast wherever you find your podcast. We do audio, we do video. You can get it on YouTube, Facebook. Watch some of our previous episodes.
Yeah, there's some belters
There's
on
some
there.
belters
Isn't there?
out
Graham was really good. If you know Graham.
Oh, yeah. Check out Graham.
Yeah.
Shall I tell you a quick
Annie
Graham
was really
story?
good.
Go
Tell us a
on.
Graham story, yeah? Come on.
We'll have that. Go
We're
on.
past the watershed, aren't we?
Yeah.
It's past at
We
9
are.
o'clock.
It is past 9 o'clock now.
So there was one time Graham was speaking. This was when we were in the original building, the original Bethany building. Graham was speaking, and the word he meant to say was organism. You can see where this is going.
This went.
Yeah. Needless to say, everybody in the church service was like this.
Was this during a preach?
Yeah. Yeah, he kept talking about orgasms in his church sermon. We're just
Song
like,
of Solomon.
it's like, this is the best church sermon ever.
Do you know what? Knowing Graham, that is probably exactly the word he was meaning to say.
I once done a wedding once, and I was using quite traditional lyrics. Words.
Alan likes to sing his weddings.
You know, go to
I
the
just
chapel.
want to feel.
Real love.
Yeah. Losing quite traditional words.
Yeah.
I'm dyslexic, so I read solemnized as sodomized. Wow, that was a different gig.
Graham said he's dyslexic, to be fair.
Well done, Graham.
Well, sorry, Graham. All right, well, bless you.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So we'll be back in again next Wednesday night where we've got
Mike McGlynn, Hillsong.
Mike McGlynn, Hillsong Liverpool.
He's watched this tonight and he's now terrified.
He probably won't come now.
He probably
won't come.
Busy. Like the fella who wanted to talk to us about going on the radio.
That's it.
He hasn't got back to you, has he?
He cancelled and never got back to
He's never getting back to you, mate.
Mike will be going to the prayer meeting now.
Mike will be like, yeah, I've got to sing.
Do you know what? Matt Cruz done some great comments tonight. Should we throw a beer, Matt, his way?
And you can,
as long as
you give him that.
Can you give it to him?
Will you see him?
I'll keep it, but sure, I'll take it.
The problem with online church is he's not seeing him in person anytime soon, is he?
It's all the picture of it,
hold it up on the screen.
It's a virtual beer, mate.
It's a virtual beer, mate.
Yeah.
So well done, Matt.
Screensaver.
Thanks for joining us.
Well done, lad.
Thanks, everyone. It's been lovely to see you this evening.
So, time.
That's time. All right. God bless you. Have a fantastic week, and we'll see you next Wednesday for another episode of
Wednesday Night at Finnegan's.
Top Stuff.